you've got exposure to AI through Microsoft, exposure to weight loss drugs through position in Novo Nordisk. Just got to get your thoughts on those themes. I mean, obviously you had a huge tailwind for any stocks in that area last year. This year still seems to be in motion. Is this one of those situations where you have the tailwind is there, and like you say, go and have a cup of tea while you enjoy the ride, sort of thing?
No, I think they're quite different, those two. I don't think there's much, other than the fact that they both happened last year and they're big, I don't think there's much connection. Let's take AI. Obviously, we did have a big upsurge in interest in AI, and it drove, some companies within and without the Magnificent Seven well, sometimes to our benefit, sometimes to our embarrassment, and so on. I've written about this in my letter, as you probably know. I just think it's too early and too simplistic to say, oh, well, yeah, AI is going to be a big thing. It's going to increase productivity, and therefore you've got to own it. And the ones to own are NVIDIA, Microsoft, etc., Adobe. Wow. If you look back to developments in technology over the last 30 years and look at the early beneficiaries in terms of stock market's performance, and you said, right, well, I'm just going to take that early winner. Boy, would you have bought some bad stocks. Intel in semiconductors, America Online in internet service provision, Yahoo in search. I mean, these really were the early leaders. Research in motion with BlackBerry and smartphones. MySpace were there before Facebook. Wow, Nokia in handsets. So I don't think there's any chance that we know at the moment. Notwithstanding, look, the people who own NVIDIA, good for them. Right? I'm pleased for them. Do I think that they know that NVIDIA is the slam dunk winner in GPU and microprocessors for AI? No, I do not. Right? I do not believe that. I also don't think we know how AI is going to function yet, because we know that we've got large language models, generative AI, and we know that there are certain companies like OpenAI producing it, and we know that there are people like Microsoft that are using it in their operating system, making it available within their operating system, and so on. And great. What we don't know at the moment is what, if any, competitive advantage it will bestow, right? Because for something to make an overall increase in things, it must bestow some competitive advantage on people who've got it versus people who haven't got it. Well, I'm not quite sure what that is. The analogy I gave again in the annual letter is with borrowing from a Warren Buffett one, which is, AI might be like us all being in the football stadium. We're all sitting down until the striker runs into the penalty area with the ball, and the second row stand up to get a better view. Well, within 30 seconds, every row's standing up because the second row. So we've all got the same view as before we stood up, except for the fact we were less comfortable than we were before. And sometimes some development are like that. The idea that it's going to produce winning isn't necessarily a given, in my view. One of the people who, when Julian and I worked together as bank analysts back in the 80s, one of the people we much admired was Sir Brian Pittman, the CEO of Lloyd's, who created enormous value. I mean, numbers are mind-blowing, even by today's standard, by how well he ran the bank. And he refused steadfastly to become involved in Big Bang, in buying a broker and a jobber and a merchant bank and getting involved in Big Bang. And he explained it to us by saying, some markets don't produce a winner. So thirdly, even if all of that's not right, even if you think you've got great foresight and you can spot the winners and it's going to create value through productivity and so on, what I don't get is some of the hype has been over things like Adobe. Adobe doesn't own a generative AI, a large language model, right? And it doesn't actually provide it via infrastructure like Microsoft does. It's just going to use it. Well, it might provide an advantage to Adobe, although I think that's far from a given. But won't the people that I've just mentioned, the OpenAI large language model owner and the infrastructure, won't they charge them for it? So what the advantage that accrues there is, maybe there will be one. But I mean, the idea that people know what that advantage is at this stage is wow.